introducing my upline coach, he's a founding coach. He's a superstar diamond coach. He was in the Millionaire Club. He was a top coach. He was an elite coach. He was a member of the CAB, the Coach Advisory Board. He meets with Carl all the time. He was a Transformation Contest winner. Please help me welcome Mr. Robert Hudgens.
Thank you. How's everybody doing this morning? God, that's loud. All right, okay. The crazy part is I talk with my hand, so if it does this, that's, sorry, okay. And brought my third-party tool in to write out some notes, because I'll go for 30 minutes if I don't. Anyway, one of the things is, I was just so inspired in hearing and seeing the stories of 142 pounds lost, 145 pounds lost, and the emotion that brought out in them because of how far they've come. And that's one of the things I want to talk about with you today. But before I do that, what was so inspirational was seeing your excitement whenever they talked about your teams, whenever they called out your team names. But I got one more team I want people to shout out and see if you're part of. Who's part of Team Beachbody? That's awesome. Well, just to quickly introduce myself, again, like you said, my name is Robert Hudgens. I'm from Argyle, Texas, which is just right outside of Fort Worth. Yes, I am a Cowboys fan. Are you in the playoffs? Do you play on Sunday?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
The lone Packer.
It's all right. She stands alone, my friend.
Nobody's perfect. Anyway, I am married to the love of my life for the past 17 and a half years, Melissa Hudgens. I wish she could be here with me today, but she's getting ready for our Super Sunday event tomorrow. And I have two boys. I have a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. My 14-year-old is as tall as me and weighs 20 more pounds than I do. You will be seeing him on Sundays, so we'll see what happens. But aside from that, I have to say I'm blessed to say the least, because a lot of things have happened in my life over the years where you look at somebody like myself and go, why is he all these things that Greg just said? You know, why did he get to become a founding coach? Why did he become a superstar diamond? Why did he make $1 million? Why did he do all this stuff? And let me tell you that it's, I don't know. I really don't. I think I know. But frankly, what it comes down to is, man, I'm just like each and every one of you guys. I started like a majority, if not all of you guys, as a customer. I was fat and unhappy. You know, when I was that guy that went to the swimming pool or refused to go to the swimming pool if I knew another dude that was a buddy of mine was there because he looked good without his shirt on. I didn't. I was the dad with his white t-shirt on that still got wet and still see everything, so I have the damn thing on, right? I mean, seriously. But that feeling right there, and I'm going to tell people, I met with some great people yesterday, and one of the things I kind of told them, and it's probably pretty disturbing, but I said, you're going to get all of me today. I'm going to stand up there naked and jump up and down, you're going to see fat jiggle. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be transparent. Because one of the things that I've learned about being a Beachbody coach and the importance is transparency. Is when we put up a facade of who we want people to think we are, that's when the biggest struggle is in this business. And in life, it's exhausting when you try to be fake. And I think the most powerful thing that you can have is you. Because when people look at Team Beachbody, when people think about our products, when people think about Shakeology, when people think about even the business, they're not buying P90X. They're not buying Max 30. They're not buying Turbo Fire. They're not buying Shakeology. They're not buying the riches or the opportunity of being a coach. They're buying you. And the only way they know what they're really going to get what they're buying is if they know the real you. Think of it this way. You go to shop for a brand new car, and you think you're buying this top of the line, all the luxuries, great engine, everything like that. You get it home, and the facade falls off into Yugo. Well, that's really kind of how I felt over a few years. So I'm going to stand up here and jiggle a little bit for you. I talk about fat and unhappy. I grew up as a fat kid. And I'll go all the way back there and you're like, well, why is he taking that long? Because I think it's important. I grew up as a fat kid. When I was talking about this yesterday, I remember being in the 5th grade. I can tell you exactly where I was in the playground, exactly what I was wearing that day. When a group of girls started singing, does your fat hang low, does it wobble to and fro, does it hang tight, and I can't tie and vote. All right? I can remember that. I can remember being called Hudgens. I can remember being called the names. I mean, kids are vicious. That's why it makes me sad that, the obesity rate in kids these days, because I was there. And it wasn't until I got into the 7th grade that I actually shot up about 6 inches and I leaned down. But, there was always that deep-rooted shame in my body image. Even when I was lean, even when I was playing in football and I even did bodybuilding, stuff like that, I had a hard time with my body image. And even as I stand up here right now, if I stand up here at 7% body fat, 8% body fat, I'm still going to look in the mirror and go, oh gosh, there's that little bit of love handle, or gosh, there's not that vein poking out right there. I'm going to be critical of that. It all stems from that. But it all stems from not having somebody actually speak truth into my life at an early age. My dad, he wasn't around. I didn't have a father figure. I didn't have a mentor. He was gone before I got up in the morning. He didn't come home till afterwards. He was a smoker. He was an alcoholic, and he cheated on my mom countless times. And then he finally flew. My mom finally said, "You're done." Best thing she did. Should have done a long time ago. But anyway, the reason why I'm telling you all is that is because all that plays to who I am right now. And when I'm talking to people and I'm sharing those types of stories, people are going to have that same type of feeling too. They're going to go, that was me. I remember those playground incidents. My dad wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. I didn't have a mentor, a father figure, someone to talk to me about how to be a man, somebody to talk to me how I should treat a woman, somebody to talk to me about what it means to be a leader. All he taught me to do was the wrong things, which actually was the best thing for me. Because I learned from him what not to do. I learned from him how to treat a woman. I learned from him how not to smoke, how not to be an alcoholic. So that's one of the things, and why I share those with you, because that comes full circle into how I got into this crazy thing we call Beachbody. You see, I was a firefighter and paramedic down in the Dallas area, and we moved to a small town in upper northeast Iowa because we never visited in the winter, and had we had, we sure as hell would have. And I can't wait to go back to Texas where it's warmer than here. I'm just kidding, it's actually as cold there as it is here. But really, when we got up there, we thought we were moving to a better life, slower pace. We moved from Dallas up there. Small town, kids were going to get to go to a small school, all that other good stuff. When we moved up there, it was great. I became a paramedic. It was all volunteer firefighting, so I was a paramedic for a hospital and for an ambulance service. And one thing you'll find out about paramedics is they're great people. They go through a lot of schooling. They have the power of your life in your hands, and they can kill you or save you, depending upon what side of the bed they woke up on that day. And they do it a lot of times for less than $14 an hour. I made $23,500, and that's working a night shift. Okay? All right, so go before that. I'm standing with God and everybody at my wife's wedding, and I promised her and her dad that I was going to take care of her for the rest of her life. I'm a paramedic making $14 an hour. She owns a clothing store. That was a hobby, because it sure as hell didn't make any money. And we were dead broke. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm my dad. My dad bankrupted our family before he split. I remember hiding behind the couches when cops would come knocking at the door trying to serve court orders because we were being sued again because we owed so many people money. I remember that feeling, that anxiety of somebody's going to come and kick us out of our house. And I was worried that was going to be us. That was going to be my boys hiding behind the couches. And that sucks. And men, if you're married or if you don't plan to be married, think about that time if you can't support your wife and do the things that you said. I mean, how bad of a man does it feel like I had to go stand in front of my father-in-law and ask for a loan because I couldn't take care of his daughter? That sucks. That was the lowest point in my life. I hit my knees and I said, God, I need your help because if not, I'm going to meet you sooner than I really want to. And it was crazy. Things started I just was like, I'm going through the flow. I started going, you know what, I'm going to start feeling better about myself. I'm tired of being fat, so I'm going to find an ephedra-based fat burner. Because they had banned them, and I didn't care if I died anyway. I needed to lose some weight. So anyway, I looked on the internet. On the second page of Yahoo, P90X popped up. It had just been released like a few weeks earlier. Okay, and so I clicked on it because I figured it's got an X in it, it's got to be good stuff. True story. And and the crazy thing about it is I clicked on it, I looked at it, I was like, oh great, it's like Richard Simmons, it's at home, all this other stuff. But it was black and gray, and it looked masculine. And I clicked this thing called message boards, and there was like 2 people on there. And it was Mark Briggs and Tracy Morrow. And I just wrote on there, kind of looked at some of the things they were writing back and forth, and I got on there and created my name for all you people from previous message boards. Yes, I was Harley guy, because I had a Harley. Broke guy with a Harley, that's smart. So anyways, so I got on that and said, is this legit? Does this really work? Is this a bunch of crap? And of course they're going to come back and they're saying, it's legit, we're part of the test group, yada, yada, yada. And we created a great bond and a great friendship, and they're 2 of my best friends in the world right now. And so that's, I ordered it, maxed out a credit card to buy it. It was like $300 back then. And got it, all intention of sending it back. My wife was pissed because I spent too much money on something that we really didn't be spending money on. And my sole reason for completing the 90 days, even more than losing weight, even more than feeling about myself, is I was going to prove her wrong that I didn't just waste money. Okay, it was a while before I could tell her that, but I did. And throughout the 90 days, I lost 8 inches off my waist. I lost 17% body fat. I lost like 20 some odd pounds. But the thing about it wasn't about what I lost. It was about what I gained. It was that I gained the self-confidence. I can take my shirt off in public. I know that sounds goofy, but it's a thing. You know what? I gained my swagger back. I gained the knowledge that if I had a plan and I set goals and I followed through, that I could achieve some pretty stinking amazing things. And that bled over into every other part of my life. And I was at a Tony Horton fitness camp. He used to do this. And I was in Chicago, and I got there, and my wife was like, you gotta go. Tony's not a god. You just need to go meet him and realize he's just a dude, okay? And so I went and met him, and went to the weekend camp, and that's where I met Mark for the first time. Briggs became my best friend in the world. He's one of my personal sponsored coaches. And then I also met Tracy for the first time, and then that's where I met Tony for the first time. And since then, him, Mark, and I have almost been inseparable. We traveled the world together. It's been fantastic. But I also met Carl that day. And Carl actually flew in on a whim, no reason, no agenda. He brought Isabella, his now wife, had just started dating her. And anyway, so I'm sitting there and I come up to him in a ballroom just like this. And we just finished a workout and come and say, hey Carl, I'm Robert Hudgens. I know who you are. I look at the message boards because I've been coaching people on the message boards for free forever, since before then. And I said, dude, I'd love to work for Beachbody. I'll clean out your stinking trash cans. I don't care what I got to do. I'd love to work for Beachbody. He goes, man, I got something up my sleeve. I'll share it with you in a couple of months. And so I'm like walking on cloud nine. I get home, say, hey, I talked to Carl Dackler, the CEO. He said he's going to call me in a couple of months about this opportunity to help work for Beachbody. She goes, he's not going to call you. So anyway, she is a great lady, by the way. She's not here to defend herself. And you better not be filming this. Of course, the Packer is back there. But anyway, so he did. We went to the founders meeting. We got into it. You know, they told us about this business. We didn't understand it. I didn't know what the heck it was. All I knew was I was passionate about the products. I believed in Carl. I believed in what the products could do. I'd seen what they'd done with me, and I'd seen what they'd done with people that I worked with on the message boards. And as I'm going through that, and I just followed that passion. And I had a man come into my life early on that came up to Melissa and I, because at our very first SuperSaturday event that we hosted, it was in Dallas, because we're both from Dallas, we started building roots there. We had 82 people at our first event. And he pulled us aside, he's the vice president of the company, Kevin Jensen, an amazing man, says, hey, Melissa and Robert, you two guys could be a power couple. You need to really dig in and start doing this. And I was like, I don't know how. And he goes, I'll teach you. And he mentored the two of us for a while before he left to become a coach himself. That was the first mentor I had in this business. Second one was another one that I spent a lot of time with. And it was in those two times that him and that other man, my other mentor, really provided that father figure that allowed me to go from somewhere right here to somewhere up here, to the 15 star, to the Millionaires Club, to doing all these things. Because I had somebody leading me, okay? And that's what you guys have the opportunity to do for each and every one of your people. But I'm going to go back to the real reason why I got finished telling you that long-winded story, because I can't do that in an elevator. And I used to worry so much about my elevator pitch. I need to be able to tell you all about my life and have you buy into me in 30 seconds. And that's bullshit, okay? If you tell me something in 30 seconds, you are pitching me, and I don't want to be pitched. I don't need to be sold. I want to believe in you. And all of us have things that have gone on in our life that has brought to you to where you are today, okay? There's a reason you're sitting in this seat. There's things that have happened in your life that are great, that are magical, that are phenomenal, that are inspirational. There's things in your life that have happened that sucked. We all have wounds. We all have things that we are not proud of. We all have had people that have hurt us. We've all had circumstances that we wish we wouldn't have had. But those stumbling blocks can become stepping stones if you allow them to become stepping stones. You know, I was at dinner last night and Michelle had a great saying. I told her I was going to steal it and should call it my own. But she said, we all have to take our tests and turn them into testimonies. Take our messes and turn them into messages. She said it better than I just did. But it's true. We have that opportunity to tell people about those. To stand up there naked, jump up and down and let it jiggle. To bear it all for people, to bare your soul for people, because if you do that, people will trust you beyond belief. They will buy into you. They will know who they're dealing with and how they are going to connect with you. And it's amazing what you can do from there. You know, I was told here recently, and this has kind of become my mantra, is never waste to hurt. Never waste to hurt. And the reason being is something happens in your life and you can use it as an excuse and you can use it as an inspiration. And if you take that hurt, we have the opportunity, whether for me, I was a fat kid. I got teased incessantly. I was broke, on the verge of divorce. I had to ask my father-in-law for a loan. I played any, mini, miny, mo with my bills, decided who gets paid and who doesn't. You know, I've had people die right in front of me. Thousands, well, not thousands, I'm not that bad. Hundreds. I've worked on little kids that have died right in my arms. I've had those things. All that crap that has happened, that's a hurt that I can't waste. Because what I'm going to do, number one, for me, is I'm going to look back at those times, and I'm going to go, number one, that fat kid, I'm not that anymore. But lo and behold, I'm not going to allow my kids to be that, number one. And any kid that I have the opportunity to touch, I'm not going to allow that to happen. That's why I coach youth football, and youth basketball, and youth baseball. That's why I have kids over at my house, and they get to use my gym, and we do summer workout programs. Because confidence for kids is key. You know what? I mean, if we can raise our kids up where they have health, fitness, self-confidence, and role models, this place is going to be a heck of a lot better place in the future. So I'm not going to waste that hurt. I'm not going to waste the hurt of hiding behind a couch because I'm scared we're going to lose our house and I'm scared the cops are at the door. Why am I not going to waste that? Because that's not going to be my kids. And it almost was. But we're going to have always multiple six figures in the bank. Well, honey, you know, it really doesn't get that much interest. Yeah, but it's there.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we're going to have that. I'm setting up a legacy financially. I'm setting up a legacy fundamentally. I'm setting up a legacy for all this for my kids so that they never have to worry about that. I mean, they're not spoiled, but they're going to know what it's like to not have to worry about finances. They already know they're going to be beach body coaches no matter if they sign a multi-million-dollar football contract. Still got to be beach body coaches. They already got positions. They're just waiting to get them. Turn 18. So I tell you all that because so many times in this business, we all think about how are we going to get people to like us? How can I become the interesting person so that people will be attracted to me? How can, I'm not a fitness model. I'm not an after picture. I'm not a size 2 or 0, or I have no idea what women's sizes are like, so I don't know what's good or what's bad. But that's not me. What would anybody see in me? You've had hurts in your life. You've had things that have happened to you that have brought you to where you are right now. You're on the road to improvement. You're in your journey. And that's much more inspirational than any after picture, any thing that you get, any fitness model. I'm sorry, fitness models look fantastic, but somebody that's within their journey that allows themselves to bare their souls and be transparent, do it on a consistent basis with people around you so that you can inspire them to become greater than who they are. So guess what they can do? They can turn around, share their hurts, talk to their people, become transparent to as many people as they can so they can inspire. And guess what they'll do? They'll continue to plant seeds and do the same thing, and sooner or later we have a group of inspired people that are willing to share and that are willing to buy into what we are all about at Team Beachbody, which is helping people achieve their goals and lead healthy, fulfilling lives. And the only way that we're going to do that is if you have an impact of you. If you truly sit back, erase all the facades, and show people your heart and who you really are and what you truly believe in. It's that easy, but it's probably one of the harder things you'll ever do in your life to really share and bare your soul. But I promise you, when you decide to do that, the freedom of being real is the most amazing thing that you'll ever experience. and the people that you affect will have the most amazing experience with you. Guys, I appreciate you guys allowing me to be up here. God bless you.